Students all around USC face the same problems with their bike. There is rarely ever a convenient parking spot for it. Many times, students are forced to park their bikes in places that are not allowed, so DPS takes their bikes away. There is also a risk of having your bike stolen or damaged, over and over again. This is the reality of situations students have to face every day when they have their own bike on campus. We conducted a survey and collected 75 responses from students. We found that 35% agree that there is a problem of bikes being too easy to steal. 27% also stated that there are too many bikes on campus. Another 27% agree that having to bike back and forth from home to campus can be quite inconvenient and would rather use Uber or Lyft for their ride back home. 11% of students also said that they have trouble selling their bike for a decent price after they are done with
Can
it.
you tell me some struggles that you've had using your bike on campus?
Yeah, so I would lock it up pretty good on the bike racks, but somehow these people keep stealing it. I'm on my third bike now, and I just got it stolen like 2 weeks ago, and I've just given up on biking. Just walk everywhere now, which sucks.
We have found the solution to these unavoidable situations, and the solution is Trojan Bike Share Program. This program will provide students with bikes that can be used all around the DPS patrol and response boundary. After you are done with your bike, you can drop it off so that another student can make use of it.
You think it's in tune with the values of USG and USC?
I think it's in tune with the values of USC in the sense that, I think if we're all about safety, student safety, then finding ways to make sure that bike congestion isn't a thing is always a good thing.
Students are required to register the app with their student ID and bank card information before they are allowed to use the bike share program. Students can use our app to search available bicycles nearby their locations. There will be a unique QR code linked to each bike, and students can use the app to scan the code to unlock the bicycle. After they arrive at their destination, they can drop off their bike, manually lock it, and another student can use it when they need it. We then interviewed Assistant Chief David Carlisle from the Department of Public Safety and asked about the problems USC currently faces with bikes and his thoughts on a bike share program.
DPS is open to trying any ideas that would help us reduce the number of bicycles stolen on campus. Some estimates have been up to 10,000 bicycles here at USC. Students are also required to park their bikes in a bike rack. That quite often doesn't happen. Probably the majority don't lock a bike properly, so we have a problem with bike theft. If the bike sharing system or bike rental system could lead to more bikes being parked securely on campus, I think it's worth trying. That every summer, graduating seniors leave hundreds of bicycles behind, and DPS ends up impounding these abandoned bicycles and having to store them and ultimately donate them to charity because students don't claim them. If we had a bike share or rental system, that may really help DPS, one, reduce theft, but also reduce the clutter of abandoned bikes that are left every year when students graduate.
We have developed an implementation timeline that began in 2017 when a student realized this opportunity. She conducted her own customer discovery survey. In January of 2018, a team was built up of passionate individuals. 1 month later, the product development was underway. This included signed agreements with bike providers and the development of the app. By the second quarter of 2018, we conducted beta tests of our product and made necessary improvements. By the third quarter, we plan to market our product on various social media platforms to prepare for our launch, which would take place at the beginning of the spring semester of 2019. Contingent on how successful our launch goes, we plan to expand to other campuses shortly after. We estimate a setup cost of $80,000. The costs consist of 180 bikes that we plan to launch in the first year, with $250 in manufacturing and installment costs, $6,800 for the app development cost, $4,800 for administration and miscellaneous costs, $2,000 for servers and support costs, $3,000 for marketing costs, and $8,800 for bike maintenance, with a total of $80,000. We have done an analysis on the size of the market. The entire population of USC students, including graduate and undergraduate students, is 72,929. Based on our previous survey, 72% of students say that they want to commute by non-walking means on and around campus. 29% of those same students said yes when asked if they would use the bike share program. Out of these 15,228 students who said yes, we feel that it is reasonable to target 5% of them in the very first year of operation. Using these same numbers from our financial projection and assuming a 3% growth year over year, also assuming that the average revenue per person per month to be $7 with an annual growth rate of 10%, we are confident that in 6 years we will be able to sustain a healthy cash flow with a strong compound annual growth rate of 58%. We have come up with a comprehensive financial model to derive an intrinsic value of $830,640 using the average venture capitalist discount rate of 40%. The investors that we are targeting would mostly consist of USC alumni. We will offer our investors equity in return for their investment and also royalties for the first 3 years. Our team will consist of Yushin as our CEO, Eddie as our head of finance, Tiffany as our head of marketing, but we realize that we cannot do everything ourselves. We need to bring in someone who specializes in software development. In order to do this, we have agreed to grant an equal proportion of equity to that individual.